So one of the things that I've been doing in this journey of the Reverend Welder is trying to understand the subculture. It isn't just something that you do when you go in, sign up, and go. I'm very analytical about that. I'm very ones and zeros, you know. You go in, you do a good job, you go out. But it's also a certain social mores involved. If a group of guys like you, boom. I understand that to a degree. You don't want some asshole, you can be the best welder around, but if you're an armpit, who wants to be around you? Well, but again, it goes both ways, whatever the case may be. So, I'm going off, and you hear about certain like cliques, or family members, or a friend of a family, that kind of thing. Now, the company I working for is a company called Hayward Baker, and then they're a Keller company or Kelly company, and they do a lot of environmental work, like dams, pilings, that kind of thing. And so I'm doing this thing called a TRD, which I'll actually put an article link on Post Edit. I'll do a link of the actual, like, what the machines look like and all that. And even I have a secondary Facebook regarding the kind of work I do. But basically it's all about the welding. Now, if you don't get along with any person there, like the upper ups, it's kind of funny. Yeah, I expected to get terminated like 2 weeks ago. But you deal with a lot of silly shit. Not real serious shit, just bullshit. So my tolerance of bullshit is quite zero. So when someone tells me they need something in 5 minutes, I say, weld it yourself. So with that said and done, there you have it. So that's where the conflict sometimes begins. Hold on a sec. So let's see. When you have these type of scruffs or personality clashes, it really may not affect you immediately, but it will affect you on the next job. Will they take you or not? Now, the sum of money that I got was the minimum I'll accept, but no one in the area was going to pay that much to begin with, except for one company, and I turned them down. But other companies outside my area, well, they're offering anywhere from $4 to $6 more an hour, and if you travel, well, you're looking at almost twice as what I'm making now. So I'm trying to keep local for a little while longer, like in the state of Florida. Build up enough equity, get a more reliable vehicle, and then do some traveling. Now, the reason why you want to travel is because you're doing between about $3 and $5, no, $3,000 to $5,000 a week. And if I can do something like that, well, some places in the country I can buy $1,000 an acre, even more. So my attitude is, with the Access Sanctuary and Chapels that I'm founded, is to build my church and create a field of dreams. There you go. And so literally I can make $40,000-$50,000 in little as 3 or 4 months in some cases, all depending on what I'm doing. One of the highest paying jobs in the welding industry is pipe welding. Now, I'm not a pipe welder, but do I make this money like 3-4 weeks from this video? Yes or no? I mean, if I really apply myself, sure, I can go off and get a job and do what I gotta do. But I don't really fit in. That's the thing. I don't belong to a particular social group. Even with my Mensa friends, or philosophical colleagues, or religious colleagues, you can only have just so much of that one type of person before. Because I'm an eclectic individual. That's why I started Access Sanctuary. It's because I'm dealing with over 70 religions. You have different types of level of crazy, if you would. But with the welding industry, you're dealing with pipe welders, Boilermakers, you're dealing with structural welders, you're dealing with what have you. I mean, I have on my phone, which I'm using as a recorder, I have a recording of a guy who is trying to recruit me bad. You're really bad. He's even asking me to help him find shit. Find people. So, so I'm getting a lot of options coming my way. And the second highest paying welding job outside of pipe welding, I think, was a cross between the Boilermakers and structural welding. And so I'm kind of going to toss my hat into the Boilermakers, which is about a 4-year apprenticeship. But they work you. And you make enough money where, not necessarily the quick goal of, making 40, 50 grand in 3 months, but they'll work you where you'll learn the skills that you can do to freelance after. So I can go and be a Boilermaker, for instance, if that would be the choice. And then I can weld pipe for a living, that kind of deal. But it all depends on the training and discipline and if that's what I want to do. But you don't just do pipe, you do like tubes and stuff. So, the world of welding is very extensive. I have a coworker of mine who actually was a speaker for my class. He came in, he was an alumni, and he was making $3,000 to $5,000 a week. But he geared himself for that. He has a background in it. So at that point, that's what was important to me was, okay, how can I generate funds, not just for me, but for my organization? So the Reverend Welder is going to be a new blog coming up. I'm going to have a video playlist on my Reverend Ronald for You on YouTube. And it's about my journey of the organizations and companies I work for. So I'll be doing one, like, again, this company I'm working for called Haywood Baker. They do environmental engineering, which means that they'll put like pilings in the earth, not docks, but they just do a lot of stuff with drilling in the earth and stuff like that. In fact, we just built a 120-foot deep, quarter-mile long wall within a dam, so that it'll help prevent leaks, that kind of stuff. That's what I've been welding for the last few months, and I enjoy it. But again, their salary that they're paying, it seems like a lot. It only is if you work the 60 hours. If you broke down what I make in 60 hours in a 40-hour week, it's about $32 an hour. Which is not the case. So I figure, I'm kind of bouncing around as to what kind of funds I'm looking for, how I'm going to make the money, how much money do I really need, what's my minimum, that kind of deal. But not only that, but also money to invest into property. So if I can buy 20 to 200 acres of land for $1,000 or less per acre, then I'm definitely interested in building my field of dreams with the church. So that's what it is. It's about church. It's about me. It's about my career field as a welder, and how I'm going to be basically building or financing or trying to get back on my feet, but also to put the church on a reality from virtuality. So field of dreams, and I might as well do it, because if you think about it, once I do it, anybody can do it. So there's no more well-wishers, there's no more naysayers or whatever. If you're really going to focus on doing something, you're going to do it, and when you do and it succeed, well, there you have it. I manifested something, so there you go. And I have some very positive influences around me that they too have manifested in their goals. So this will help a lot. So anyways, this is my precursor video for the Reverend Welder, and I plan on sharing this with everybody, open. So any company I work for should be fun, because it's like, all right, well, this one's cliquish or whatever. Wait until I tell you about Haywood Baker. I kept notes. And si comprende español? Poquito, pues si comprende. People like to talk in front of you thinking they don't know, what you're saying. That kind of shit. So yeah, I speak about 7 different languages, 5 to 500 words, and there you go. So don't feel too comfortable speaking in front of me if you're going to talk to a native language. Catch you later. Bye for now.